right? There's, I don't know why it calls it variable rewards drive attention. Um, Uncertainty gains losses, near misses, make trading unusually compelling. So there's almost like this addictive nature to trading, right? It's like this dopamine hit that you get from it, right? And I think when you run a strategy, you kind of miss that, right? Because like, why do people love to trade? I mean, it's a lot of it is kind of like gambling. I don't want to call it gambling because you shouldn't be gambling with your money, right? But in many ways, it's like that, right? It's like you get that dopamine hit by placing a trade, right? And by seeing it win and that sort of thing, right? And when you build a trading strategy, you kind of go around that and you miss that whole dopamine hit, right? So there's the dopamine hit, right? And then agency matters a lot too. People want to have control over their money, right? And a lot of people, and I've wondered for a while, why don't people want to use stuff from our marketplace? We have a marketplace full of strategies that really do really freaking well, right? And it's kind of crazy to me that people aren't jumping all over it, right? But then you look at other websites and they have the same problem, like Collective 2, and like there's a bunch of other websites that have like a marketplace of strategies. And for some reason, people just don't value it, right? And it's like, why the hell not? Why don't you value this? This thing makes 40% a year. It's been proven, it's been back tested, it has a track record. You know what I mean? Like, why are you not investing in this? Like, what's wrong with you, right? Like, you know what I mean? But if you think about it from first principles standpoint, a lot of people care about agency. They want to have control, right? And the lack of control by giving it to another strategy kind of makes it more difficult, right? And then there's loss aversion is a really big deal, right? People care a lot more about losses than they care about gains. So there's, a lot of risk stuff we got to take into account. Trust is very important, right? If I don't trust what you're doing, I'm not going to trust you. This is it's money after all, so trust is extremely important, right? And then participation has emotional value. This one, I don't really know what this is. They also purchase entertainment, identity, learning, involvement, right? So kind of being a participant. So it makes sense to have almost like a social network around it, right? So when you look at it from like a first principles lens, it actually kind of makes more sense to have agentic trading rather than only allowing people to build strategies, right? Because it allows you to have that dopamine hit. It allows you to have agency over your money. It gives you a higher degree of trust because you're the one in control, right? You could maybe deal with losses a little bit better. It also allows you to feel like you're participating, and we could amplify that even further by making like a social network around it, right? And I think that would make a lot more sense as a product than simply go in, build a strategy, back test it, and run it, right? Would you guys agree? Or is this just not making any sense?
I've
I
heard of these
agree.
before. It worked for Elon. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know enough about it though. I got to be honest with you. And just like agentic trading, I'm so far behind. I need to go out and understand it more to feel comfortable with it. So that's the
Hmm.
old man in me.
Yeah, it makes sense, as with anything new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maurizio, what do you think?
No, I'm with it. I mean, honestly, I've always been doing this. Always ask the principal questions of why, you know, because if you dig down to the reason of why, you actually start finding solutions for them of why things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Even when I develop strategies, I always ask why they're going down, why did this happen? And it's very important with the same thing as these principles.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, that's the whole thing of first principles. It's like it's a difficult mental exercise to do, right? It takes a lot of thinking of like, that it's arguably one of the most difficult things to think through of like what's the root cause of something. It takes a lot of mental energy, right? But I think it's really important to think about when you're like running a business, right? Because I think the more you can get to the root cause of what people want, I think the better you can build a product that satisfies that, right? Would you agree with these actual first principles or not? Like these are like the emotional first principles, right? Then we have economic first principles as well. And then for institutions, we kind of broke that down too. But at least from the behavioral first principles, would you agree with most of those?
Yes, because the secret to people or in anything with any kind is how do you make people feel?
Hmm.
People don't realize this. I actually read the book. What's that book called? Oh, gosh, I forgot the top of my head. It came out like 2, 3 years ago. But one of the key things is people don't remember you by how nice you are to them or what you said, what you were. They remember you on how you made them feel.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's why those principles, yes, are very important. And especially when trade, we may be trading with machines, but we're still trading with people because it's still
Hmm.
people controlling those machines. They're saying, "Hey, this is how I feel and how I want," or "This is what the
Right,
calculation
exactly.
is doing." At the end, it's still people that be still trading.
Exactly. And when it comes to investing or trading, I think what's really important is that dopamine hit. I think that's very important, right? A lot of people trade and it's like gambling, right? Maybe we can help you, still have that dopamine hit, but not lose your shirt. You know what I mean? Right? Because some people do some very dumb things and they go in and buy some very stupid things, right? They put their entire life savings into one stock or something like that, right? We can help them with that, right? So we can still give
Yeah.
you that dopamine hit, but make sure that you're not doing stupid things, right? Um, Agency, I think, matters a lot when it comes to your money. You want to feel like you have control over it, right? If you feel like you're not controlling your money and something else is doing something, it's not as appealing, right? Loss aversion is very important, right? To protect you against losses. Losses hurt a lot more than gains.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah.
right. Yeah. Then trust is very important, right? It's your money after all, and if we lose your trust, that's like everything, right? If you don't trust us, game over, right? And that's kind of like I noticed one client was like that. He came in, we had some issues with Schwab connecting, and he was just like, "Nope, I'm out," and he just canceled, and he's gone. We had one little bug, and that was enough to scare him off, you know. And then participation has emotional value. I don't really know too much about this one. This feels like a new one, but yeah, I don't know. This one I don't fully understand that much. But I think most of those really apply well to the world of investing, right? Um, and I think if we could satisfy all those with our products, I think it makes a lot of sense. And to me, it seems more like agentic trading fits that profile better than building a strategy and backtesting it and trading it, right? And the numbers seem to show it too, right? Like there's clearly demand for it at Robinhood. There's clearly demand for it at Alpaca. There's clearly demand for it at Public, right? So it's not like this revolutionary thing. I mean, it is revolutionary in the sense that this is a brand new thing. It didn't really exist 6 months ago.